poor, mourn, chalk, fraud, etc. The sound ha. This is produced at the back of the mouth with open and spread lips. It is tense because it requires much muscular effort. We can therefore say it is a back, tense, long vowel sound. It can be realized in spellings like hey har, hey, hey hell, hey double R H, you a har, he hey har, and hey you. Examples include cat, remand, palm, kata, hat, laugh, guard, ask, cat, half, etc. The sound he. He is produced at the front part of the mouth with half open mouth and spread lips. It requires less muscular effort. Therefore, it is a front, lax, spread, short vowel sound. It can be realized in spellings such as he, he, you are, you e, ho he, hi, you, I, he, and I e. Examples: weather, equity, hedge, said, pen, wealth, leisure, friend, jeopardy, guess, berry, head, henny, leopard, many, etc. The sound he. This is produced at the center of the mouth. It requires greater effort, and it is a central, tense, spread, long vowel sound. It can be realized in ho-har, er, ear, ir, ur, our, eur, and e. Examples: work, journey, hair, birth, search, perfume, hurling, adjourn, head, saboteur, egg, third, nurse, etc. The sound This is produced at the center of the mouth with an half open mouth and spread lips. It requires less muscular effort. It is a central, lax, spread, short vowel sound. Its spellings are U, O, OU, double O, OE. Examples: touch, does, become, judge, gun, search, fund, courage, wonder, luck, mother, flood, blood, love, money, etc. The sound her. This is produced at the front part of the mouth with an open and spread lip. It requires less muscular strength. It is a front, lax, spread, short vowel sound. It is spelled as he, ua, and ai. Examples: cut, cut, passage, rush, batch, carry, guarantee, patch, fan, plate, etc. Letter writing. Letter writing is another aspect of English composition. In letter writing, you can write to congratulate someone, to exchange news, to give information, to write for, you can write to apologize for your wrongs, you can write to make appointments, you can write to demand for information, you can write to make business transaction, you can write to appreciate someone, to lodge in complaints, and for some other reasons. So in letter writing, we have two types of letters. We have the formal letter and the informal letter. We are discussing the formal letter first. Formal letters are written in strict language and style and addressed to persons or organizations you are not familiar with. So in essence, when you are writing a formal letter, you are using a very strict and formal language. Strict and formal language in the sense that it does not permit for greetings. There is no room for greetings, no room for undue familiarity, no room for exchanging compliments. You go straight to your point, and then there's no need, you don't have to use colloquial language, there's no use of slang, no use of idiomatic expressions, no use of any other informal expressions except formal language. Another thing is the purpose of writing formal letter include making complaints, requesting for something, and making enquiries. So mainly when you are writing a formal letter, you are either writing to complain, to your government, to your school authority, to your local authority, and some other authorities around that you feel you can submit your complaints to. Then you can also write to make requests. You can write to request for your results. You can write to request for permission at your place of work. You can write to request for permission even in your school. You can write to request for anything around you if you feel like asking. Then another one is making enquiries. Making enquiries has to do with seeking information. So you can write to any authority to make enquiries on certain issues that seem unclear to you. So these are the functions and purposes of a formal letter. Now let's look at the format of writing formal letter. The first thing we'll be considering is the address. When you are writing the formal letter, there should always be two addresses in the letter. The first address that should be written is that of the writer, followed by that of the recipient. Firstly, we'll be talking about the address of the writer. The address of the writer should be written on the top right corner of the paper. That is your right, and at the top of your paper. So when you are writing the address, you write them line after the other, line by line, and then you should also take note that if you are writing to someone within the same city, you stop at the name of the city, and each line should always have a comma, and when you get to the end of the address, you put a full stop. Then if the person you are writing to is in another state, for example you are writing from Kwara State and the recipient is in Oyo State, you have to put Kwara State in your own address. Then if the person you are writing to or the recipient is not in Nigeria, you have to put Nigeria in your own address before you write the date. Another aspect of the address is that you should always make them align. It is either they align straight or you write them in slanting form. The name, title, and address of the recipient should follow the writer's address on the immediate next line of the left-hand side of the paper. So you are writing the recipient's address on the left-hand side of the paper, on the immediate next line to your own address. After the recipient's address, the salutation will follow. The salutation is usually written as Dear Sir or Dear Ma. After the salutation, you have the heading. The heading is the topic which carries the intention of the writer, and this gives an insight to the content of the letter. Most times the heading, when you write the heading, the person you have written the letter to, after reading the heading, would have a glimpse of what you have written in the content of the letter. The heading of the letter will be followed by the content or the body of the letter, wherein the writer expresses him or herself in a very formal manner, using formal language and expressions without any sense of familiarity. So you should bear in mind that familiarity should be ruled out totally from formal letter. So the body of the letter, every composition should have three main parts: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So after the heading, you go to the introductory parts, which will introduce all the recipient to the purpose of writing, and then the next line, the next paragraph, which is the body, would dwell more on the introduction, which you have used to introduce your purpose of writing. Then the concluding parts. The concluding parts will be a summary or the closing part of your letter. And then after the closing part of your letter, you write yours faithfully or yours sincerely. After yours faithfully, you go to another line, append your signature, and then you write your name on another line. Then you have three lines for that: yours faithfully, your signature, and then your name. Some people used to make the mistake of writing their name first after yours faithfully. It shouldn't be. Your signature should come first, then your name after. Informal letter. The other type of letter is the informal letter. This category of letter is written to relatives, friends, and other persons with whom you do not have professional or business motives with, those that you are familiar with, and relatives. The format of an informal letter is quite different from that of a formal letter, simply because